Hello guys, right, here is a quick run through of the combat system I am designing currently for my guild version of this game. So what I've got is this spreadsheet, and it is based all on the original reference sheet for the monsters from the original game. So what I've done is, right, for example, this Murloc, it has a threat 5, attack 3 and health 2 for the green monster. Okay, so the threat and the attack added together is 8, and let's go over here, and at the top here you'll say Murloc tokens 8. That is the threat and the attack added up, so that's the total tokens this Murloc has. It has a basic health of 2, which is on the monster reference sheet, and the slots is how many tokens are drawn before a new round of combat is started. This is work in progress, so this might change. So the threat, the slots is always equal to the threat of the monsters. So the Gnoll, for example, it's got 4 slots and it has a threat of 4, and that applies to all the 4 different coloured monsters as well, different levels. Right, so the 8 tokens, the hit tokens, there's 3 hit tokens, that is equal to the actual attack value of the Murloc in the game, and it also has a basic 1 block, 1 dodge, 1 crit token, and the difference between the tokens is 2. So the hit, block, dodge, crit is 5, and there's 8 tokens, so that means there's 2 miss tokens. So when a miss token is drawn, it is basically a miss, nothing happens. Okay, 1 second. Right, I'm back. So using the monster reference sheet for the original, and it's the revised one for Burning Crusade, so it's got the purple monsters in, so we've got 4 different coloured versions of each monster. I have used the stats on them to create the tokens that goes in the bag, and also I've looked online and looked at various creatures. On this case, the Murloc will be a Scorpid, so it'll be the early level character in the game, and the Scorpid is an early level mob you have to kill in, say, Durotar, for example. So the Scorpid has a block, as a ability of Harden. So I have assigned that to the block token. So if a token, when you draw tokens out, you place them on this board here, which I'll sort out in a second. If the token prior to you placing the hardened or the block token, it is discarded, and if the next token that's placed is a hit or a crit of a player, then that token is removed from this combat round, but the block token from the Scorpid is put back into the bag. I shall demonstrate this a bit better in a minute when I sort out, because I missed off a track here for the token, so I'll do that in a second. So as you can see, the monster health for the Scorpid, which is based on the Murloc, is 2. So my green and yellow versions are 2, which equal to the green and blue versions on the game. The orange version is health of 4, which is based on the red monster version of the Murloc, and the purple is the red colour in my game. So the quests monsters are based on green, yellow, orange and red, as in levels of difficulty, depending on what level you are. Just like in the actual game, if you go for a lower level quest, you get less XP, etc, etc. So back in 2 seconds. Okay, just wrote out the combat track. So there's 5 boxes, 1 to 5, and that is, oh my god, my finger's completely different to what's on the screen. That is the threat value of the Murloc stroke Scorpid. So the threat value is always the amount of tokens that get drawn before a new round continues. So I shall get my tokens sorted, which are here, which I've already got laid out for me characters and the monster. So I'll go through these now actually. So on the Murloc we have a basic block, crit and hit. They're the basic ones. Where are we? Oh, dodge, block and crit. Oh, wrong one. Dodge, that's it. That's the character there. So you got a block, crit and a dodge there. They're the basic ones. And 2 misses, which are there. So you got block, crit, dodge, miss and miss. And then for the other ones, with the attack value being 3, there's 3 more tokens. So on my original idea was the 3 hits, but now it's going to be a Scorpid, so I'm going to use a ability from the actual MMO. I've decided to change, because this is what the post I put on the Discord channel earlier on, asking what you think would be the most used ability for a certain animal, a certain creature, whatever. So a Scorpid, it's got a lot of armor, so it'll have more block potential than a hit potential. So out of the 3 hits, I've decided to have 2 block and 1 hit. So this one now has 3 blocks in total, which are these shield ones. The hit is this crosshair, and the crit is the flash star thing. Dodge, character moving in. You got a hit with a cross through it, and yeah, which is a miss. And then back to the characters, which are slightly different. We have these. Let me just get the screen up to show you another picture. 1 second. Here we are. Right, bear with me. I'm just going to have to use this on Photoshop. Right, this is the guild board. So, this example, this group A, which has a Tauren Druid, a Tauren Shaman, Undead Priest, Tauren Druid, and a Troll Hunter in the group. So it's a full 5-man group. You'll see that you have a hit, 1, 2 crit tokens, and you have a bubble, I'll explain that in a minute, and a heart, and I'll explain that in a minute. So we are going to combat with these 5 people against this Murloc, or stroke Scorpid. So bear with me. Right, so the bubble, which is this ability, is one that, let me just get the screen back up, combat token rules. Alright, so here are bubble. Annuls the effect of 2 adjacent enemy tokens if hits or crits. No effect on player tokens. So if this is placed next to a enemy hit token, and then the next token that comes out is an enemy hit or crit, they are both null. They don't apply, so the player doesn't lose any health on either. And the other token was the health token, which means when that's played down, the player can gain 1 health to any character, to the entire group, or whatever you want to call it. So the health token, which, let me just get back to my screen on here, is this one. That means that's an instant, so as soon as that's played, you gain 1 health. So in the case of my combat mechanic, is if you lose a health, you lose one of these 5 people, 5 members. So if I was to lose, so if I got a critical hit by the Scorpid, I'd have to, because a critical hit is a instant 1 health loss, so I'll have to choose which one of these I'd have to lose from my bag. So if I choose the bubble, for instance, I'll choose that. So I'll take the bubble token out of my bag, and then that's not used for the rest of the combat round. Make more sense when you sit and play and it's written in the rules with diagrams and things like that. But however, yeah, so that is the information. Right, hold on, no. So the hit, which is this one here, that is a hit, takes 1 health, but that only applies after the round. So once all these 5 space are filled up, the round ends, and that's when you resolve certain tokens, and hit is one of them. Whereas the crit, which is these, they are instant. So if I draw a crit out, for example, stick it there as my first token, the Murloc loses 1 health straight away. So let's put that back up to 2. I think that's about it for the token description so far. So bear with me while I get my breath and rearrange my table. One other thing, right, so I have, where's my finger there, right, these tokens are all what is on my 5-man group, which is here, and on the guild itself we have 2 bonus tokens, which is a bubble and a dodge token. Every guild has 2 different tokens. So it's a bit of asymmetrical sort of guild thing. So in here is those tokens. So you have the extra bubble and dodge there, and also you get 1 miss token per member in combat. So I've got 5 members in combat. There is 5 miss tokens just there. Okay.